Alright, it's been a while since I've actually done, you know, this me talking to you kind of thing. I think it's about time I talk about my future plans after my academic career. So, first, I'm gonna be talking about my life in school. Well, just as much as I want to share. Anyway, the way I acted back then was I was like this class clown, wants to make people laugh, all that shit. My peers, they would some usually laugh at some of my jokes, but I will say this, I was pretty annoying, I can admit that, and I'm sure that they thought so too, let alone that they actually said it straight to my face. In my middle school years is when I realized where I actually stood. Now, I'm not gonna say I was bullied or anything, no, I'm not making the case of me trying to be a pick-me person. That's not my goal. Okay. I was more like teased a lot. Let's say that I guess, but not majorly, but enough for someone to be like, let's say someone's in my position, they would be able to say, yeah, those moments suck. Now, I remember some of the girls would come up and say to me that I'm annoying, or ask me questions that they know damn well that they didn't care for. Or they would just straight up make fun of me, right? I remember this one time, I was in art class in 6th grade, and I was like in this group of my peers, we were all working on something different, but we all had to sit together. I don't remember how this conversation started, but there was this lesbian girl, right, sitting next to me. And I don't remember how it started, but I remember how it ended. She said that she would fuck way more girls than I ever would in my life. Now, for the record, I didn't say nothing disrespectful whatsoever, alright? I wasn't a disrespectful guy whatsoever. And I will say this, that didn't hurt. I was in middle school. This was in, like, 6th grade, mind you. And that shit hurt. And I would say that was like one of my first impressions I got from women. My dating life wasn't that swell either. Now, as some of you know, I made a whole YouTube video about it a few months ago, actually more like a year ago, about how this one of my ex-girlfriends, they literally cut me with fucking scissors. I'm not even joking. Thank God I'm trying at least to stay away from her as far as I can. Yeah, I was really desperate back then. And I really hate myself for it. Fast forward to 8th grade. My feelings towards people just got even worse. My friends would usually make me the butt of the joke, and always make fun of me and whatever. And they would always lie to me too about something petty, just for a joke, right? It really fucking sucked. It really did. Even now, some of them still do it, even now. And I am like this close to just snapping at them, right? But I know that if I do that, I'm reading my script. But I know that if I do that, I'm just gonna give them what they exactly want. So I just need to hold out for another 180 days, or until like the end of the year. And that's if they don't do something that'll really piss me off. That's if, all right? I mean, there's a huge, well, look at this. There's a huge difference between joking and rage baiting. Joking is just for fun, and people know that it's a joke. But rage baiting is just straight up toxic and just straight up being petty for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, what on God's green earth did I ever do for you to just straight up like fucking lie to me, practically insulting me, all for a joke, or all just, oh, it's just, I'm just playing, bro. Nah, fuck all that bullshit, dude. Till this day, I still won't let that go, dude. I still fucking wouldn't. Sorry. I got on sorry, I didn't mean to go on a mini rant there. What was I talking about? Oh, right, that's what I was talking about. Right. Fast forward to the beginning of my freshman year, my first year of high school. That's where things took a turn. In the very beginning, I was, still the class clown, whatever. But it wasn't until like a month-ish goes by, I decided to calm down, right? I decided to calm down. Like, now, this is how I act now. I stay quiet, I don't bother anyone, and yeah, I tried not to be as annoying as I could. But hell, even still, sometimes now, I still get called annoying by girls, so. But that's still pretty rare nowadays, so. It's whatever, I guess. But here's the kicker. But the way I felt about everything got even worse. I just felt, well, more like feel now. More miserable than ever. But not depressed. No, that's a huge difference. That's not what I'm going for. Miserable and depression are two completely different things, right? Let's just get that out the way. That's when I realized another thing. I literally can't trust everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even some of my closest friends, not all. I still wholeheartedly trust some of my friends. But there's some of them, you know, I'm a little iffy on. But hey, I mean, who knows where there'll come a time where I'll have to count on them, and then it all turns out that they straight up lie to me, and it all turns out to be a joke, and I look like a fucking idiot. But hey, I'm better off not being in that situation anymore. I don't want to be too gullible anymore. I remember I was in weightlifting class freshman year, and in the beginning, it was actually quite nice. You know, got to do my own thing. You know, bench, squat. Basically never did power clean. Did deadlift sometimes, but I always, you know, try to work up sweat, whatever. But it wasn't until later it got worse. There was always this senior guy, right, who would always, and I mean always, do the, you know, the tap you on the shoulder, but then walk this way, and then like you're supposed to, oh, what's that? Make you look like a fucking idiot. He would always do that to me. It didn't bother me a few times, but then he just wouldn't fucking stop. So one day after class, I stopped him and I tried to talk to him, saying, "Hey, could you stop that, please? You're bothering me." Then we shook hands on it. Next thing I know, next day I had weightlifting, he did the same shit again, dude. I will never forget the smirk he had on his fucking face when I look back on him. That was when I was fucking... That's what made me fucking miserable. Well, that's one of the reasons. Excuse me, I misspoke. That's one of the many reasons why I'm miserable as I am. Next year, sophomore year, second year, it went pretty smoothly, I guess. I mean, as some of you know, I wore a suit to school, so gained a ton more respect. So that's nice. Still felt miserable. That's not going away anytime soon. Last year, though, every single day was a drag. For me, anyway. Can't say the same for everyone, but as much as I would love to talk about all the shit that happened to me, I won't, because I made videos about it, so check them out if you want. Now, I can finally talk about my future. So, after my 13-year sentence is finally done with, I'll be joining my family in South Korea. Yeah, so that means sometime in June 2026, I will be moving from America, and I'll get into a language school, learn Korean over there. My family owns some sort of company and convenience stores, so after I'm done with the schooling, hopefully I can work for them, and hopefully this is the hardest goal. Hopefully I can get married. You know, find someone special that will actually appreciate me, and I appreciate them. And yeah, but having kids in South Korea, I don't know about that. I heard it's pretty expensive. Now, I know about how their beauty standards is fucked up. They're in a really bad spot. Their economy's fucked. Birth rates are incredibly low, like 0.73 last time I checked. But if my family wants us to be there, then I might as well go. Now, all I gotta do is just stick out for another 180 more days, right? Ish. I'll keep streaming on Twitch, keep making YouTube videos, doing the same thing as I've always been for the past year now, and I'm just gonna live my life, I guess. Hopefully things are looking out. I'll be optimistic for a change.